Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into what I like to call a massive intellectual upgrade in Eastern philosophy. We're tracing the fascinating journey from a purely conceptual blueprint of the universe into a fully operational, substantive cosmic operating system. If you've ever wondered how traditional concepts of harmony actually evolved to tackle the messy complexities of a modernizing world, well, you're in the right place. Let's break this entire evolution down step by step.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the three fundamental elements, move into Donghak's Samjae concept, explore Daesun's Samgye system, check out the divine world connection, and finally, put Samjae and Samgye head-to-head.
So, before we can even begin comparing these intricate systems, we've got to start by asking the exact same foundational question that ancient scholars wrestled with for centuries. I mean, when you strip away all the wild complexity of reality, what are the absolute core building blocks of existence? How do they interact with each other? And honestly, maybe most importantly, where exactly do we as human beings fit into that grand architecture? All right, Section 1, the three fundamental elements. Let's set the stage.
Traditionally speaking, the entire core axis of the universe balances on just three fundamental elements. First up, you have heaven, which provides the ultimate universal principle and order of things. Then there's earth, acting as the physical, material foundation, the literal ground we stand on. And perfectly, almost poetically positioned right in the middle is the human being, a totally unique entity born with the combined energies of both heaven and earth. Together, it forms this perfect triad of existence. Throughout this explainer, we're going to see exactly how the definitions and the dynamic relationships of this iconic trio evolve over time.
Moving right along to Section 2, let's look at Donghak's Samjae concept.
Notice how heaven, earth, and humans are connected as one, seamless, unified energy. In the Donghak philosophical tradition of Samjae, we're not looking at three totally separate physical places or distinct dimensions, right? Instead, it represents a highly abstract, attribute-based harmony. Think of it kind of like a beautiful architectural blueprint. It shows you exactly how the cosmic energies of the universe perfectly balance and complement one another, mostly on paper. And this brings us to a really beautiful quote. "The heavens are my heart, the earth is my heart, and people are my heart." Guys, this is a massive ideological shift. It represents a totally revolutionary, immanent view of God. What does that mean? It means the divine isn't just strictly up in the sky, completely removed from our daily reality. Nope, it's beating right inside your own chest. The entire locus of universal order has been internalized. How wild is that? So while Samjae absolutely keeps that traditional abstract harmony deeply alive, it crucially shifts the focus. Because heaven literally resides within us, the heavy burden of actually transforming the world falls directly on human subjective practice. Basically, we have to become the active agents of change. And this deeply integrated, human-centric framework, it becomes the perfect launchpad for the next major evolution we're going to look at.
Which brings us to Section 3, Daesun's Samgye system. Let's see how things level up.
All right, here's where we cross a major threshold. These elements? They are no longer just abstract attributes floating around. In Daesun thought, the three worlds, heaven, earth, and the human world, become totally independent, yet organically connected, structural realities. Heaven is now its own distinct realm of spiritual beings and divine laws. Earth is the physical, material nature we physically interact with, and the human world is the actual, tangible arena of human society and history. We've moved entirely from philosophical energies into concrete structures.
To put it in a more modern context, think of it like this. If Samjae was the abstract architectural blueprint drawn beautifully on a piece of paper, Samgye is the actual running operating system of a computer. It has concrete structure, objective reality, and specific, highly practical rules governing exactly how these three realms interact. It's no longer just some symbolic concept of universal harmony. It is a substantive, mechanical system that literally operates reality itself.
Let's turn to Section 4, the divine world connection. Because every operating system needs an admin, right?
Exactly. A complex operating system just doesn't run indefinitely on its own. It absolutely needs an administrator. Unlike previous philosophies where the divine was purely abstract or strictly internalized within us, this substantive system takes active external inputs. Enter the God of nine heavens' great harmony. This figure acts as the supreme being, actively overseeing, regulating, and working directly within these three worlds to maintain balance and order. It's a very hands-on approach.
And you know,
When that massive universal system inevitably throws an error or encounters a fatal bug, serious action is required. This happens through Samgye, which is essentially the sacred cosmic project of renovating the three worlds. It triggers whenever chaos occurs within the system. First, the Supreme Being diagnoses the underlying issue. This diagnosis leads directly to Kaibyok, a fundamental reorganization, or basically a hard formatting of the worlds. And finally, a brand new order boots up. It's quite literally an active, cosmic-level reboot taking reality from total chaos back to peaceful coexistence.
Okay, moving to our final section, number 5, comparing Samjae and Samgye. Let's put it all together.
Looking at these two concepts side by side really reveals the massive ideological shift we've been tracking today. On the one side, we have Samjae. Remember, this acts as our architectural blueprint. It's internal, it's abstract, it's focused purely on harmony, with pretty minimal direct divine intervention. It is very firmly rooted in traditional Eastern thinking. Now look at the other side at Samgye. This is our running operating system. It's substantive, it's highly structured into completely separate realms, and it features direct active divine regulation. It brilliantly takes that traditional Eastern thought and integrates it with a highly systemic, mechanical reality that we usually associate with Western paradigms. It's a true fusion.
So, let's wrap up with this final thought. We live in a world today that, let's be honest, often feels like it's actively experiencing three worlds chaos. But if we view our universe through the lens of Samgye, not just as some passive, abstract philosophy to be pondered in a study, but as an active, interconnected operating system that's fully capable of diagnosis and reorganization, how might that completely change our approach to global crises? Understanding this deeply integrated perspective might just be the exact key we need to start fixing the bugs in our own modern reality. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into the explainer, and remember to always keep questioning the systems around you.